So Ashes of Creation just launched its Alpha 2 Phase 3, and I thought it would be a good time to check the game out. You're probably wondering what Alpha 2 Phase 3 consists of, and well, the TLDR is that Phase 3 is when they do a big server wipe and leave the new ones up 24/7 until beta testing begins. That and a bunch of changes, improvements, and new updates like 2 new playable races and a new starting zone to name a couple. Obviously, there's more to it than that. Last time I played Ashes was when they officially lifted their NDA, allowing people to stream their game. That was nearly a year ago, October 2024, I believe. I was really interested to see just how far the game had come over the course of nearly a year, and well, after playing it for a day, here are my thoughts so far. But real quick, a word from today's sponsor, Exilag. I want to show you guys something here real quick. I'm currently playing Terra, and this server is located in Canada. I am personally currently connecting from Korea. And if you look at the bottom right corner of the screen, you're going to see that I'm currently pinging 225 to the server. I have my Exilag here, and as you can see, I'm not connected to Terra. I'm going to turn this on, which will crash my game because it's reconnecting here. It's using a different connection to the server, and I'm not gonna put any cuts here. No cuts in this little segment, just to show you guys that this is not edited or fabricated in any way, shape, or form. And as this loads, I want you guys to check out what the ping is after connecting to Exilag. We're almost there. Bear with me here. We are at what, 225 without Exilag. As you can see, the Exilag is on. We're connecting. And we're waiting. Usually I would cut this out just to make the ad a little bit shorter, but again, I don't want to cut this, just so that you guys know that this is a legit service. Bottom right corner of your screen, as you can see, we are now pinging 187, and generally this bounces around between 175 to 185. So that's a lot better of a performance, right? 220. Everyone that plays with higher ping, or any online game for that matter, knows there's a significant difference between 225 and 175. We're talking, 30 to 50 ping difference right now. Even at lower ping values, the difference between 50 ping to 100 ping is absolutely insane. So I wanted to show you guys this because Exilag currently does have a promotion going on right now. You can get an annual membership for 50% off. Links can be found in the description below. Everyone knows Exilag is the standard in the industry when it comes to lowering your ping, and I would definitely not miss out on this deal if you are looking to lower your ping. Overall, I definitely did see some improvement with the game. I'd say maybe about 10 to 15% improvement, 20% if I'm being very generous. The big area of improvement definitely lies with the overall performance and player models not being a janky mess. Performance-wise, feels pretty good. There's a subtle little choppiness going on though. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's weird because outside of that little subtle choppiness thing that I'm getting, it does feel smooth. I do not feel like I have a loss of frames, which is kind of impressive considering how many people are here. This time around, I don't really remember noticing any player models behaving that weirdly, and that's a really good thing. Aside from that beginner zone, I didn't really get any more choppiness anywhere else. More importantly, in the previous alpha, a big part of what made the game feel so broken and incomplete for me came from the player models being a buggy mess. This time around, the models were way more consistent and natural. The game has definitely improved significantly in this regard as far as I could see. Another notable pro is the combat. I enjoyed the combat the first time around, and this time it felt even better. Maybe it was just the new rogue class I played that was designed better, but the abilities felt really good to use. Minus one ability called Feint, which is a shadow step skill. That one was a bit buggy to use. What? Like right there. Come on. That needs to... Okay. Other than that, though, the combat definitely carried it for me. While I was glad to see the improvements, I was honestly disappointed with the lack of improvement in some other areas of the game. The biggest criticism I had with the game was the questing and mob AI. I'll start with the questing, considering this is something I really feel would be super easy to clean up. I'm just surprised that after a year, it's still poor. The questing isn't consistent enough. It's pretty clear that Intrepid is going for a more challenging, a bit ambiguous, less hand-holding type of questing experience. That's totally fine, by the way, but it just feels inconsistently or ineptly done right now. Here's an example: the quest markers. Sometimes they're visible, sometimes they're not. Some NPCs have quest icons, some NPCs don't. I would understand it if these quests were part of an MSQ, but that doesn't seem to be the case because some of them seem to be side quests that you don't have to do. I'm guessing the orange quests are early guide quests, but the fact that I'm still not sure is the problem. This quest, for example, tells me to turn in at the Apprentice Apothecary, but really, I have to go to this NPC named Assistant Edeldorn. Notice, by the way, the shimmer on this NPC's name with the orange quest icon showing that it's a turn-in.
We've had a lot of
Bro, this guy's name wasn't even, it was not even the same name. Assistant Edeldorn. The quest was telling me to go talk to an apothecary, assistant apothecary. Didn't show me where he was, and the NPC's name wasn't even Apprentice Apothecary. It was literally a different name. You notice the same thing with this quest from Goobert Pebble Pocket. Phenomenal name, by the way. When accepting his quest, only when you turn in for him, no turn-in indicator, no icon. There he is. Man, I know they're going for more of like a you have to pay attention type of approach, but I don't know, man. I think they should still have quest indicators when you're ready to turn in a quest. The quests need to be consistent. If you're gonna have quest icons, clean it up and make them understandable. Make them consistent. These inconsistencies are just not good for the new player, especially when the questing revolves around a more challenging, you gotta figure it out kind of concept. I assure you, almost every new player that enters the game will rely on doing quests to get started. And if that experience is frustrating, you're going to lose people. You're gonna lose a lot of people. It's important. And believe me, I'm not the only one that thinks the quests in Ashes are scuffed. I think you can make an argument that something like this isn't super high on the prio list, even though I feel like it would be such an easy fix for them to do and should be. But my next point of criticism is for sure something that I would think should be high on the prio list: the mob AI. When I first played Ashes last year, it was really clear that the mobs were just janky. They were buggy, desyncy, inconsistent. They were not good. They're still not good. In fact, I don't think they're better at all. Maybe it was the new zone that I was in, but the mobs are still behaving the same way. Some mobs that should aggro seem to not aggro immediately. Some mobs have infinite leash range, while some leash at a reasonable distance. Look how far this mob chased me. I'm literally in the town right now. It finally leashed. What is this aggro range? Some mobs are also stuck and invincible. Some are stuck and attackable. Some are inside mountains and start hitting you from there. Right? Look. Motherfucker's just stuck in there. Right? How do I even attack? Can I attack him? I can. Look at that. He goes here and then gets teleported. And now I can't attack him anymore, even though I could attack him. Now he's back here. Can I kill him? Okay. Surely they'll be able to fix shit like that soon, right? Sometimes they desync and teleport. I cannot tell sometimes if the mob is moving because it's executing a move from its skill set or if it's just desyncing and bugging out. And that's bad. It's objectively bad. Ashes is designed around facing challenging mobs and facing real penalty when dying. This shit can't happen when you have this type of game. The mobs can't be in this buggy, messy state. When I saw this jank, originally I was okay with it because it was an alpha. Sure, this is still an alpha, but this is almost a full year later. The fact that it doesn't feel any better is a huge disappointment for me. With that said, the dynamic gridding was introduced for the first time with this build. Not going to get into details of what this is. Feel free to look it up yourself. But I did hear that this could be a big part of the reason why the mob AI is as scuffed as it is. Regardless of what's causing the issues, I'm hoping they can fix it up ready in time for the launch so my grandkids can enjoy the game in 2093. Jokes aside, I really am pulling for the Intrepid team, hoping they can deliver us a good product, hopefully within the next few years. This really is the closest thing to vanilla ArcAge that's on the horizon, and seeing as ArcAge is my favorite MMO of all time, I'm really looking forward to what Ashes could possibly become. There are obviously other areas where the game has improved and needs to be improved, but I would say these are the two that stood out to me the most. If I were to add another point of criticism or feedback, it would be that I feel Intrepid should revisit the difficulty and ambiguity of the early game experience, assuming it's currently intentional. I feel you can still nail the "we want less hand-holding, more player freedom, bigger challenges" type of concept while still delivering a certain level of ease and guidance for a new player. For example, there's no reason for the world map to lack so much information. Additional labels and names would really go a long way. An abundance of entry-level resources for players to craft their first beginner set with some additional guidance on how also isn't going to kill this game. The pacing doesn't have to be sped up, but some of the early game progression just feels even slower because of how tedious it is. You want to craft a weapon? As of now, you'll spend a lot of time searching for resources to mine, then when you finally get it, you have to trek across the map just to go to a workbench for one of the mats that need refining, then back to craft the weapon. All with limited inventory space and storage, by the way, and that's after you figure out the crafting and gathering system, which is going to take time itself, especially for new players that aren't used to these types of sandbox systems. Challenges are great, but right now, a lot of this isn't streamlined very well and just feels very tedious for a lot of people. Now, I'm sure these things aren't the main focal point of the current test phase, but I'm giving the feedback anyway because, as a tester, these are the things that impacted my experience the most. So, let's sum this baby up. Overall, is the game ready for launch? No shot. Has it improved? For sure. Did it improve a ton? Not really, if I'm being honest, but I'm also not a game dev. Do you think it still has potential? I sure do. But that's just my subjective opinion. Would love to hear yours. Be sure to let me know in the comments section below. And that's going to pretty much wrap this one up. I'll see you guys in the next video.